Hey everybody, and welcome on back to Minecraft. Today we're back here in the building with fWhip World, and I am so excited to bring y'all back in. I have been running around the world gathering up resources for what we're going to be doing over at our new village build. Currently we're walking through one of our old ones, and I absolutely love this place that I just wanted to walk back through here and take a little bit of inspiration in for how we laid out this village. However, we've already been doing a lot of work over at our new location, which still doesn't have a name. If y'all have ideas for the names as we're kind of defining the style here today, be sure to let me know that down in the comments below, or if you have name ideas already, let's hear them. But we've already done a lot of terraforming, so while I gather up a few more of these resources, let's cut this over to a good old-fashioned time lapse to catch y'all up. And for this one, my friends, we spent about three and a half hours here terraforming out this new area because I was not a big fan of what we had beforehand. It just felt too flat. It was too close down to the edge of the water. We couldn't add some cool cliffs to make it feel more like we're on the edge of the ocean. There's no place to have little sandy shores by the seashore with all of our seashells and all of that good stuff. But anyways, over here, we spent a lot of time placing down a heck of a lot of dirt, grass blocks, and everything else you could possibly need, and just filling out this entire area. I think it turned out really cool in the end. It's going to be great for us to build on. One thing that I can highly recommend for anybody who's thinking about getting into building things in Minecraft is build on a slope. Don't build every single building on the same level. If you can make your area look like it's going up a hill or down a hill or just over the top of a hill, up a mountain, something where it's not all flat, have different levels, even if it's 1 block, 2 blocks, or in this case, this whole hill is about 7 blocks difference when we get to the flatter parts where we're going to be building. But that alone makes a huge difference for building, for how you can make your area just feel more alive, having it just not be flat, and that just adds to the blocky feel of it. So creating these hills and everything can help to break that one up like we were able to do here, and I think it turned out really well. We still got the other side to go, but it's a good start for today's episode, I think. Hope you all enjoyed that time lapse. We are headed back over to the build spot for today, and I've got so many shulker boxes full of junk in my inventory here, but I'm very excited to build this structure here with y'all. As you can see, we've still got a little bit of terraforming left to do with this whole side of the hill over here and the other side of the river, but I think that's going to be some great stream projects for the next little while. We'll do a lot on there and then do some update little time-lapsey things inside of this video. Because, man, did that thing take a long time to do. That was about 3 hours of streaming to get all that stuff done. But let me get a little bit more of the stuff set up around here. I've got a lot of shulker boxes. I got to sort through those. That's already totally messed up. And we'll be building something probably down along the water's edge of sorts. I'm going to do a little bit more terraforming today to show you all a little bit more about how we're going to be incorporating that style over there into our village that we're creating on this side. So let me get things set up and I'll be back. It's one of those days for me where I'm just like, ooh, look, a distraction. Let's go look at the distraction. And I'm just... It's taking me like 20 minutes since putting those shulker boxes down there to get my butt down here and put these blocks down around this area. And I'm so frustrated by it, but we're going to do it. We're building this thing today. So what we're starting out here is we got some andesite in here. We've got some diorite. We've got some double diorite slabs, which does a vanilla diorite texture. We got some white concrete powder, and we've got some white concrete. That's going to be the base layer for our house in here. And what we're going to do is, to get ourselves started, let's just grab some more of our diorite, kind of stack this stuff around here. The andesite is mostly just kind of something to line up these corners. And then that's going to come up into this little diorite slab action right in here, where that's going to kind of grow up out of these ones. And then maybe we can bring a little bit of white concrete powder, a little white concrete, and then bring this one up here again. And what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is about at 4 high, and then I kind of wanted to start bringing in a lot more of just like the smooth white concrete. And then this is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so this will be 5. So we're going to bring this up to being 5 tall on this whole front area. And so we get this kind of cool looking pattern right in here, right? And then what we can do on top of this one here as well is kind of buff that area out so we can have a window in here, which for the windows, I'm thinking lime will be a good color for it. You'll see why as we do this one a little bit later and kind of move forward in the build. Down here, we're going to have that coarse dirt, brown concrete powder, and everything like that going along with it, which will be super sweet. But up here, what we can do to mix this up a little bit more to make it even more decorative, and I know it's very chaotic right now, and that's fine. It's okay for this to be a little crazy because this is all just kind of our temporary build for now. This is as we're defining the style. I've got a loose idea for what I want to see out of this one, but it's nothing exactly perfect yet. And I want this to feel a lot more white than it is kind of this gray tones down at the base. Those are meant to just be at the base of this one. And then to help kind of solidify those in there, what I want to do was some stone brick slabs and stairs kind of moving around this lower area, which will kind of help that feel a little bit more muted in the back there, which should be pretty good for us. Maybe we can give it a little bit of space right in here, kind of extend those ones back like that. And actually that needs to be open here as well, because what I wanted to do was come in here, bring in some spruce fences to again help break this up and make it kind of feel more like a mashed together tone in there. I know I'm looking through my inventory a bunch on this guy, but then we can bring in some of this action right up here, and that'll lead into our second floor as we're going to go into something much smoother than what we have right now. So if we get our little bits of scaffolding out, we can bring ourselves up here, going up, not to the side. And this is where we're going to be bringing in, instead of just spruce logs, we're going to be bringing in, that's not what I wanted. Oh, right, duh, you have to, this is how you make those. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then that'll be coming in, but on the inside, what we're actually going to be using inside of here is some stripped oak. I think it's going to be super cool. So we can have all this stuff going on in here like this, and then kind of building all of these ones up like that. We can have some windows on the front of this guy. This is just kind of our test plot for the house. I want to spend some time building this one up with y'all here, so y'all can see kind of where the ideas are coming from on this one. I think it's going to be a super sweet idea, but we can do something like this. And I think you might actually need to come up being one taller. Let's see, 1, 2. Yeah, no, that's all one too short. Okay, fixing this one up here. We're bringing everything up into just a very strict point on this one, which will be super cool as we're kind of moving throughout it. And that's kind of what the front of these houses are going to look like for now. We're going to bring in a lot more things later on to mess them up and mix it up and just make it a lot cooler. For example, we can bring in for now just some more spruce trapdoors. A lot of this is going to be hiding the chaos that we have of this white texture down here, which I think is going to be super cool in the end of it, but I know it's very weird for now. So just trust me on this one, folks. Just give me a few to get this thing in here together, and y'all see what I'm talking about. But we can come up here just for a little bit of extra detail. We should be able to do that with where the roof is going to be going on this one. Let me mess around with the roof design for this. I'm just going to do some spruce coming out, hanging out over the edge of this, and then have that going back. And I've got a very cool thing in mind for the top. Sorry for all of the mob sounds in the background. They are very much down below the ground right now, but I've got the roof shape in for this house, and we're just going to do the typical pattern of stepping up every other block, kind of like what we have here, added on these back sections, and got just the other walls in so we can have all this stuff finished up for ourselves here. So it's just kind of a long straight line right here. We've got one that juts out to the side here, so it's a little bit more interesting on all that stuff, right? And of course we've got to do a little bit like that. And then because this was a big old flat wall, I figured we'd add a smaller one down there to break it up, and I think it looks pretty nice. I'm really not too sold right now on those going like big cross beams like that. I might make them up straight up and down, but I'm gonna finish the build first before we mess with those much more here. And I'm realizing that I actually forgot to come through and do all of our trapdoors throughout here, so we can quickly do these ones and just kind of spamming all this stuff in here, going up super fast. I added in some of the fences and fence gates and things along the back half. I actually don't know if I showed you all the fence gate trick or not that I'm doing here. Under these stairs sticking out that don't have the fence going under it, I'm adding a fence gate on there just to add some more variety into this one and just cover up more of that white color that we have down here below, because I think it's going to be pretty important that we cover up a lot of that because it's so chaotic that we want to start to hide it a little bit behind everything else that we're doing in here. And I think that'll really start to make it feel a lot smoother, and we definitely don't want that one all the way up there, and make the build feel a lot more completed than otherwise would be. We're going to be adding a lot of plants and things around this build here too. It's going to be very covered in leaves. I'm super excited for that part of it because we're doing the peony fields, as people are telling me they're called. It's going to be very cool. But anyways, the colors for the top of this building that we're going to be making, we're going to be doing the roof out of terracotta using a collection of these two flowers right over here. So thankfully I've got a lot of bone meal on me. I'm just going to get a stack of both of these ones because you can just sit here and bone meal them, and it's absolutely perfect. We can do this, get the whole stack of each of them. This one right here is going to be making, just to double check here, magenta dye for us. That's going to be great for that side. And then we're going to be using our rosebush over on the other side right there to be able to make pink dye combined with, of course, our bones, because we've got a lot of these things. And we're going to be using pink terracotta and magenta terracotta, and it's going to be awesome. Now, while we were working on this build, adding in our roof right here, I just wanted to quickly chat with y'all a little bit about why I picked this project over anything else. Just to get ourselves started here, we have the pink terracotta and we have the magenta terracotta. Magenta is a little bit lighter, so that's actually going to be our top block up here. We're going to be working in a little bit like a gradient style almost for this build. I'm super excited for it. I hope y'all are ready for this one here too. But anyways, why did I pick this project over, say, these custom islands that I've been talking about for a very, very long time? Well, my friends, it's because life is busy right now, as I'm sure y'all are very aware of as well on your own sides. Life is very, very busy for everything going along right now. And I just didn't feel ready to tackle a large project like an entire new custom biome project when we already have our existing mountains. I wanted to take a little bit of time and pick this project right here is geared to be like 1 month long. I'm hoping about that time we'll have a little bit more information about when the new Minecraft 1.16 update is happening, because it really looks like it's kind of closing in on those final stages. A lot of bug fixes are coming out and not many new features. So I also didn't want to be stuck in the middle of another giant project when an update releases going like, well, I don't really want to work on this because I'd like to experiment with the new things inside of Minecraft. So that's kind of point 1 and point 2 right there. But don't worry, the big island project that I've been talking about and planning and dealing with, the plans are still here. The plans and all that stuff is very much still present. It's just going to be happening at the another eventually stage for a project here. It will happen. I promise we will do that one. If y'all are super excited for it, let me know, because we can that can move it up in the plans or set it back later if not too many people are hyped about the custom islands. But that's kind of something that I want to share with y'all, because I got a lot of comments about that in the last few episodes. But as we're kind of bringing everything in here together on this build, it's starting to look super sweet here. And I like this. I love these colors working here together. I love that we're kind of able to bring up these darker tones with being the pink terracotta, which is weird saying that's a darker block, but it works out. And we kind of have everything working up here towards the center. The top we'll be talking about a little bit later on as we're kind of moving throughout this one. But I think it's pretty good. I'm just going to get the last ones in over here. And I'll tell y'all what, we've been doing a little bit of an eye candy time-lapse-y thing throughout this whole thing. Just a third-person building. Let's keep that going, and I'll decorate the rest of this build. It is very fair to say that I cut that time lapse a little short. I ended up going to get some lunch afterwards and came back here and decided to work a lot more on this one. I loved that tower that we did on the manor way back in the city, that I just had to break this up and throw a tower in there as well. And it works really well. I love that white diorite-y look to this one. I think it worked out really well. And then using a little bit of our polished diorite there at the top to peak it off and everything like that. I might honestly change that to some stone brick, but I'm gonna leave it for now. I kind of like that being a little bit lighter. But I've done a lot of work around here, especially down in this area, trying to get a little bit more of our terraforming action in here to get a better idea of what it's going to be coming throughout this area. I think it's cool. We're using a lot of gray concrete powders for the terrain around here and using a lot of cobblestone and stuff for the accent bits. I was itching my nose there, couldn't use the mouse for a second. But I think that'll be a cool way that we can create a lot of contrast around this structure being so much lighter than we have the dark terrain. It should make this stuff feel a lot lighter. On top of that, I've decided to also bring in some rose bushes and a little bit of our cornflower action down at the base. I think it's going to be super cool, but we've got the sandy beaches down here into the dark terrain with the coarse dirt and everything. Our roadway has a lot of brown concrete powder, coarse dirt, granite path block, and everything like that I think is going to be absolutely awesome. What I did want to do, however, today to work on this one for a little bit more here is this area is I wanted to have this kind of bridge, this retaining wall here is going to connect into our bridge and dissipate onto the far side, but this is kind of as far as it's going to stretch off here, because I wanted to bring our dirt way actually back out here and mess up this terrain that we created. A lot of these like smooth curves and everything, we're going to be coming back through here and really messing with them, and I think it's going to be really cool. Like, you can come in here, throw a little bit of guy like right in there, do some gray concrete powder, and then we can bring a little bit more of that maybe out over to this side, and then a little bit of that stuff kind of coming up throughout here, and just slowly chipping away at this and creating a form of terrain that we can use around this area. I think it's going to be awesome. We're using a lot of this cobblestone stuff because it's kind of the darkest stone that we have with slabs and everything like that, so it'll work best with our gray concrete powder. I know it's not the perfect one, but I want to get something that could kind of work here. Maybe one day we'll get concretes that actually have stairs and slabs. Maybe, please, Mojang, please. That would be awesome. We'd love you so very much for it. But coming over here, this is kind of the idea that we have with this one. And then everything would probably just kind of dissipate and form here into these same spots. This could be a bit of like an erosion channel coming throughout there, but we want to pile up a lot of our dirt here and have this kind of round itself off. I actually don't have any coarse dirt on me right now, so that's a wee bit of an issue, but we can slowly just start merging all of this stuff in here together. Throw a few trees on top of it. I've got a cool idea in mind for these little like acacia trees. I think will be another like brighter element into the build and really help this feel just like summery and bright and very springy. This is very much going to be a springy themed build, like as in the season, not like bouncing rapids and everything like that. But I think it's gonna be cool. Let me get this one in here working out a little bit better, and I think I'll show you all the final product of this. So I've been working on bringing a lot of these rocks in. Got a weird little stone outcropping thing here at the front. Kind of want to use those almost as like weird shaped statues, I guess we could call them. Or just, I don't know, maybe stacked stones of sorts. Just something that this village is doing to make it a little more artsy. And again, going on with that color vibe. And speaking of the color, one thing I did want to mention is I know a lot of people in the comments had wanted to see like reds or something along those lines. I think I already brought it up. That was, to me, felt like more of like a fall colored build or something along those lines, which I think will be fun for something later down the road. But I just want to briefly mention that again as we're going throughout here, is that we're going to be using like these colors here because I think this works a little bit better with the peony block as well. But bringing in a lot of the colors and whatnot up through here, it's starting to really come together, or bringing in a lot of the terrain at least. I think this will be a really cool style for it if we get a lot of bushes and things along the base here. Then we get these kind of like coarse dirt patches going upwards into it and kind of tracing them around. I know a lot of this terrain stuff that I'm doing here is a little different than what we're used to, but I think in the long run, it's going to turn out really cool for this project and make this area actually something very unique, which is something cool that we can always focus on. Is every build that I like to do inside of this world has to be something, there has to be some unique element to it. Whatever it is, we got to find some way of making it cool and unique and just different from the other ones we've done. This way, we have like the magenta roofs and the very white base to it. I think that'd be a really cool style to see kind of across this entire area. I've been doing things. I kind of forgot to bring y'all back in. I jumped off of here for a little bit to take a break and went and worked on some stuff in Legacy and did some cool things over there that you guys will see later this weekend. And I came back here and was like, I'm just gonna put this over here, put this over there, do some building things right over here, and well, we're standing on a new bridge. Isn't that nice? And then we've got all this lovely stuff over here. It's this video is supposed to be coming out here pretty soon, so I gotta finish this one up here. But yeah, folks, we've got a brand new bridge for ourselves. Still kind of a little bit of a work in progress on this guy. I'm working on a few things in here, but I like it. I like the very chunky end bits to it with these little features on top of it. And one thing I also want to mention on this one, I don't think I mentioned it quite yet. If I have, I'm sorry, forgive me. But also, wow, look at that view right there. That's an Instagram shot if I haven't seen one. But anyways, the goal for this project here is to be about a 1 month long project, because I know everybody out there is probably sitting around bored out of their minds with a lot of free time on your hands. So if you're looking for something to do and you want to start a new Minecraft project you didn't know what to do, maybe follow me along with this one. We're gonna be doing a 1 month build project here. If we really like it, we'll take it going a little bit longer, but that's the plan for this one. And to give you all a final little bit of a tour, I've finished up this area up here, just kind of detailing it out. Did this little tree thing that we were talking about, and did all this stuff over here, just some more plants, making sure so that our cornflowers are all in kind of bunches and also hidden underneath the bushes. I think is a really cool feel for it. We've got this nice little wheelbarrow thing. Did I show you all this thing yet? I honestly don't remember where the last clip was. I should have went and listened to it before this, but I want to finish the video up. We've got that. That's a nice thing. Yep, it is. I think I showed you all that one. That sounds about right. But up here to cover up that gray concrete, I just threw down some slabs and started bringing in some stuff like these guys, some barrels and everything like that. We've got a little bit of a cart going on over here. We've got some pickles. We got some crates and all that fancy stuff. In the next episode, we're going to be tackling the storage room, which I think will be absolutely awesome. So we're going to be throwing a big old storage room section back here for stuff that would be coming off of the water of the docks and everything like that. Y'all left some amazing ideas in the last episode, so thank you all so very much for that. Any other ideas y'all have for these builds, that would be absolutely awesome. Somebody mentioned like a water taxi system to get ourselves from here over to the port city would be a cool build to add in. A lot of people were saying the water mills would be super cool to add as well. So thank you all so very much for that one. Click that like button down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are brand new. And yeah, I'll catch y'all on the fWhip side.